MGF Custom / Reviews.
For generations, my ancestors fought proudly as warriors against the Jedi.
I love you.
What's going on, guys? It's Michael MGF, and I am back for yet another LEGO Star Wars 2012 Summer Set review. This time I have Pre-Vizsla's Mandalorian Fighter. The set number is 9525, it is ages 8 through 14, and it has 403 pieces. The actual set is really awesome. In the Clone Wars upcoming in Season 5, we're going to be able to see this vehicle in action quite a bit with the Death Watch's return and their alliance with Darth Maul. So this vehicle is definitely one to pick up if you are a big fan of the Clone Wars and you're excited for the upcoming season. And this, unfortunately, the minifigures are based off Season 2. The Death Watch did not change their vehicle since Season 2, so LEGO can get away with this one. But Pre-Vizsla and ObiWan are in their Season 2 outfits, but Pre-Vizsla is still quite a minifigure. But the vehicle itself is built very nicely. There are, believe it or not, no flick-fire missiles, and it's just a really cool vehicle overall. And yeah, this went for $50 at the LEGO store where I picked it up, and that might vary in other retailers. So anyway, this is a pretty awesome set, so let's get on to the minifigures. Alright, and now to start off with the minifigures, we have Pre-Vizsla himself, the leader of the Death Watch, in his Season 2 armor, and Jon Favreau did an awesome job voicing Pre-Vizsla and directing the first 2 Iron Man movies. Just wanted to get that out, but fun fact there if you didn't know. Anyway, this is definitely the perfect representation of his Season 2 armor. I am personally a really big fan of his Season 2 armor, and honestly, I don't think he should have changed it, because this just looks better in my opinion, but especially with his Death Watch cape, but I think his armor's alright. Anyway, this is definitely an awesome minifigure. The helmet, the Mandalorian helmet, and the Mandalorian jetpack are sculpted in a gunmetal-like color, and you very rarely see LEGO use that kind of a color. And honestly, I wish they did better with the Darksaber, because honestly, the Darksaber doesn't really look like that. I honestly think they should have just done something else, because sticking a black, rod into a lightsaber hilt doesn't exactly do the Darksaber justice, because it's a pretty historic weapon since Shae Vizsla got it out of the Jedi Temple during the sacking of Coruscant back in the Old Republic, and passing it on generation by generation. But anyway, now that I'm done nerding, the printed legs are fantastic, and I'm really a big fan of how LEGO decided to use the sand blue on this minifigure. The printed legs are just absolutely fantastic, and there is a difference between the torsos. His torso is his own unique torso. As you can see, if you just take a look there, you can see the differences for yourself. Just pause the video. But yeah, just drop him like he's crap. But anyway, the actual cape is very awesome. Let me pull this off here to give you guys a good look as he falls. Okay, so here is a look at his awesome, absolutely awesome cape. Just a very nice piece. I just absolutely love that cape. Yeah, so now that his helmet's off, here is a look at his absolutely awesome head. It doesn't exactly represent him very well at all, but it's definitely still pretty awesome. And yeah, so without going through the trouble of putting his cape on, there's Pre-Vizsla in his Season 2 armor, but even if I wanted to, with a little customizing, I can fix that. So now we have the standard Mandalorian, and the Mandalorian has always been an awesome figure, and LEGO did a fantastic job representing the Death Watch. They couldn't have done better, and I think is just really an awesome figure. And of course, they do have the fudgely-looking face, very ugly, and we've all seen this before. I mean, there's a freaking battle pack for this figure, so not much to see here, but definitely a very cool figure. Okay, and now we have Mr. James Arnold Taylor. Sorry, I just love James Arnold Taylor. He did an awesome favor for me at Star Wars Weekends. But anyway, he's the voice of ObiWan Kenobi in the Clone Wars, and definitely an awesome voice. And yeah, anyway, now that I am done admiring Mr. Taylor, this figure is definitely awesome. It's a great representation of the, first half of the Clone Wars Obi-Wan before it changed in Season 3, Episode 10, Heroes on Both Sides. Yeah, so he does feature a really awesome torso, pretty nice printing, and no backprinting, because this figure was actually created, you know, right around when the Clone Wars movie came out, so LEGO was still, you know, just introducing themselves into making their figures a little bit more advanced. And he does have a pretty cool hairpiece, and really not much to say about him, but yeah, there is the Clone Wars Obi-Wan. I really hope LEGO in the next set gives us an update on Obi-Wan, because they gave us an update on Anakin, and if you guys saw the list for the 2013 sets, they're going to give us an update on Ahsoka. Just pray for that, because she will be in an Umbaran set, and thank God for LEGO. By the way, 2013 sets are just going to be awesome. Anyway, now that I'm done fangasming over 2013 sets, yeah, let's hope we get an update on Obi-Wan in the future. But anyway, there's Obi-Wan. Yay! So now onto the actual set. This fighter is just absolutely awesome. It does have quite a few studs, but obviously it's going to be a little bit more. It's obviously easier to save money if LEGO just, you know, cuts down on tiles and, you know, allows for a lot of exposed studs. But it's still very awesome, and I definitely like this one. It does have a decent amount of stickers. It has 3 on the cockpit, 2 symmetrically on both sides here, and 2 symmetrically on both sides there. And yeah, so without further ado, as you can see here, the guns can move side to side. And why they move side to side, I'll show you in just a second. But for now, let's go ahead and seat our minifigures inside. Obi-Wan does not have a spot to go, so he can just stand on top and suffocate once they get out of the atmosphere. But anyway, so the cockpit opens up pretty nicely. What does kind of suck, though, is when you push it down, it's a little bit tight. The sides kind of come up a little tight, and it can get caught on these 2 plates here. But other than that, it closes pretty decently. I would just close it slowly. But you see, if you close it fast, it sometimes gets caught like that. But if you close it slowly, it should not. Actually, it just kind of depends on how you pull it down. But yeah, so let's go ahead and seat our minifigures. And what I really like about this set, and what I really like about the summer sets overall, is that LEGO has given us room to put their accessories, and we don't have to have them lying around. So Vizsla's Darksaber can go right in this little slot there, and the standard Mandalorian, his pistol, can go in a little crate, which can be revealed by pulling down this flap here, and you can drop it out. And then it has a really nice printed piece, which we have seen before, but it's definitely very awesome to see it return. And we can take his pistol and drop it right in there, and yeah, then we can go ahead and put it right back in that little slot there. So very awesome and definitely very convenient. And back here we have a rear gun, and that can move 360 or spin 360, which is very awesome. And these can bend. So yeah, close that up, and now we can actually get them inside. So we're gonna have, since Vizsla is awesome and he can be lazy, we're gonna put him in the back so he can just be the passenger. And he can fit with his cape pretty decently, and it shouldn't get bent. It doesn't really look that bad. It's not that extensive as if it was like a normal cape. But yeah, so they seat in a pretty interesting way, actually. There are these pieces right here that actually grasp on to the middle of their legs, and there is a sticker right there as well. Sorry about the camera there. But yeah, so they seat in pretty nicely, and they do wobble a little bit, but they are pretty secure in there once you close up the cockpit. Again, it does have a little bit of trouble, but yeah, there we go. So then the back engine's back here. But the back engines are really nice. I definitely like them a lot, and they look very cool. And finally, the landing gear here. The landing gear is very awesome. It definitely helps with support when you fold up the wings. But let me show you that in a second. So here we go. I said show you that in a second, what I'm showing you right now. But basically the wings can fold. They can pretty much go, I would say, at a 90-degree angle pretty much. And then the landing gear folds down to support this, you know, landed mode. Landed mode, yes, that works. But yeah, so when you design a game, if you look too far, you might see what they don't want you to see, and that's what's going to happen here. But yeah, so there's the wingspan. Definitely very, very large wingspan, but definitely very awesome. And this is LEGO, so there are a lot of, you know, it looks a little ugly on the underside, but you get used to it, and it definitely looks very awesome. But yeah, and this is why the guns move, you know, side to side, because when it's in its, you know, landed mode, what would you call that? I guess it's, yeah, when it's landed, basically these move side to side. Honestly, I think if this piece was somehow flipped, maybe it would definitely be better if they moved up and down, because on the box it shows it's in this kind of a position. And by the way, the cockpit itself is like an individual piece that can spin 360. Let me pull the landing gear up, and yeah, it spins 360, which is definitely very awesome. And yeah, so, and then the actual, this is what LEGO pictures on the front of the box, this kind of a mode. And that's not exactly accurate. That's not how this ship actually flies. It actually flies in this kind of a position. This position actually pretty much exactly. But yeah, so let me go ahead and correct my camera there. But yeah, so this is pretty much how the Mandalorian fighter flies. It does not fly in the position that the box shows, but it's definitely very awesome either way. And yeah, so here's a look at the underside. And I definitely love the colors on this vehicle. Definitely very awesome. Big fan of it. And yeah, Obi-Wan has absolutely no spot. He is forever alone. But anyway, there's a set. Now let's go ahead and get on to the box and instruction books, and then we can go ahead and finish this up. Alright, so here's the box. The box is actually pretty decently tall for its size, and as you can see, the set was $50 at the LEGO store, $50 US. And then you basically got all the specs, some really nice artwork, and that planet there, which that almost looks like Seleucami in a sense, but not really. The color doesn't. But yeah, then you got the new minifigures, the awesome pre-Vizsla minifigure, and the used Obi-Wan and Mandalorian, because they appeared in various sets before this. And then basically you got all the features back here. And the actual hangar bay that they use for a background doesn't make sense, because that looks like an Imperial hangar bay. But yeah, and you got some pretty cool action scenes right there, which look very awesome, with pre-Vizsla jetpacking out of the cockpit to attack Obi-Wan. And then you have the actual size on the top here. So, very cool box. And like I said before, LEGO has the actual vehicle positioned in the wrong way. But telling from the Season 5 trailer, the vehicle actually flies horizontally. But yeah, there you go. So let's go ahead and take a look at the instruction book. Instruction books. I'm just not used to LEGO using 2 instruction books in a lot of sets. But this summer they've been using a lot of... they've been basically using 2 instruction books in a lot of their sets this summer. But yeah, so here's the first page. You do get numbered bags with this set. And there's the end of the first book. You build the cockpit first, which is pretty cool. The cockpit's actually very well built and very awesome. And then you get the second book, which is slightly bigger. And on the back of it, you have basically all the minifigures from the summer line, excluding the sets, the actual set and minifigures from this set. I said this set twice, but yeah, there's the... Basically, not much to say about an instruction book, but you might notice I am not exactly finishing a lot of my sentences here. Long day. But yeah, and there's the start to page, or the start to book 2. And alright, there you go. That is it for the box and the instruction books of this awesome set. So overall, this set is awesome. It consists of a lot of awesome white pieces. You get a lot of nice slopes, a lot of angled flat pieces, a lot of nice and lengthy flat pieces, and you just get some really awesome colored pieces, and the blue pieces are definitely awesome. The stickers are great for purists, and the build was very fast. I built this thing in like 30 minutes. It was very simple and clear build. Definitely no trouble there. This set is definitely great for anyone, and I think it's the perfect set for the upcoming season in Season 5. Despite the, you know, the downgraded design of pre-Vizsla, like I showed you guys with a little customizing that can be fixed. But yeah, so anyway, that about sums it up for the LEGO Star Wars reviews for now, guys. But due to LEGO, you know, releasing these sets a little late and doubling the prices right before Brick Fair, that kind of did me in, and I couldn't exactly get to these reviews as fast as I normally wanted to, and as fast as I traditionally do. So the Malevolence review and the Jabba's Palace review will be delayed, but they will eventually go up. It's just, I'm sure you guys have already seen all kinds of reviews on them, so you guys, I think you guys are bold enough to wait a little while for my opinion. You guys are awesome, but anyway, that's about it for this review, and I will see you guys later.
Bye!
ObiWan, you suck. But the guy who voices you, James Arnold Taylor, doesn't. Because he's awesome. Because he did a plug for me. But anyway.
Bye!